Welcome back to the Webby O'Neill channel. Plenty of Manchester United news to get in today, including updates as well from Erik ten Hag's press conference ahead of the match against Burnley on Saturday. But I think we all know why you're here, and it's Marcus Rashford. He responded to a tweet in the early hours of Friday morning, which I'm going to get up now for you. And it says, the way Marcus Rashford is being treated is absolutely disgusting. It's cruel, it's abuse. To which Marcus Rashford then responded and said, I appreciate your support. It is abuse and has been for months. Enough is enough. Now, your first response to that?
Well, months and months it's been going on, he says. Is it abuse? Is it criticism? Well, we all have our own opinion on that. I just look at Marcus Rashford and I just don't understand why he's coming out and trawling social media to look for clicks, to get on there and then to come out and have a go at people who he thinks are abusing him. And it could be just criticism. I just don't know where he's going with this. I think it's just a lack of reading the room here, Marcus. Manchester United fans, football fans, are only interested in what you do on the pitch. I don't understand why he's not curtailed looking at social media. If he feels that the abuse is out there on social media, then why watch it? Why listen to it? Just get off it, Marcus. You're not going to win this battle with social media. It won't let you. Everyone knows that. There is always criticism and abuse. No matter who you are, someone always comes in it. It's an acceptable thing. That's what happens. So I don't know why he keeps firing back. I thought I was going to have a Marcus Rashford free weekend this weekend.
I was looking forward to it, to be honest with you. I actually felt a little bit refreshed in our match reaction after Sheffield United that we didn't have to touch on Marcus Rashford, to be honest with you.
I know, but you know, he just won't let it go, and I don't understand why he keeps doing it. He's turned round, right? Look, fans aren't interested, right, to understand Marcus Rashford as a person. They're only interested in watching him and perform on the pitch, and he's not doing it. He's getting criticism from everywhere. There's not many people I've seen or heard backing Marcus Rashford, right, on that field of play. He's poor. It's been ridiculous. People have used the word crap, rubbish, everything. And to be honest with you, over the period this season, they're the words what suit Marcus Rashford, and he doesn't like it. He wants you to understand him as a person. We're not interested. I'm not interested what you do as a person out there. Every person what puts a shirt on the pitch, that's what I'm interested in. Performing, fighting, putting everything in on the pitch. And you haven't done it, Marcus Rashford. And now you're coming out and saying enough is enough. Well, fans are actually saying that to you, Marcus. Enough is enough. Get on the pitch and perform and stop everything else, but you won't. So I don't know why he's having this battle. I just don't understand it at all. It can't be doing his mental state any good, trawling social media for likes and also attacking the dislikes. Doesn't make sense. Get off social media and get acting on the pitch. That's how I see it, and that's what he should do.
He actually responded to that tweet at 12:36 a.m. in the early hours of Friday morning. Do you genuinely think that was Marcus Rashford responding? Or do you think it was his brother, his agent, his PR team? Or do you genuinely think that Marcus Rashford was up at that time, trawling through social media, having a look what's being said about him?
Well, I think whether he's done it, has he done it? He might have done it. I think he might have done it. I mean, he might have had a conversation with his social media people before it, and they might have put it out. But I think he was truly aware of it going out there, because at the end of the day, you, as a footballer, as a person, you would not allow and you would not be happy and you would come out with a statement the following day if someone had done something on your behalf, knowing the reach it was going to get throughout the media and the wider world. No, he's aware of it. Whether he actually put it out or not, he was fully aware of it. And it's just another fight he's engaging in for no reason. And I say again, he won't win it, you know. And listen, at the end of the day, I look at Marcus Rashford, you know, and adversity and all that in life, you know, he goes on about that. He goes on about his family and his upbringing and the way he's there. Yeah, listen, I can rattle off loads of people who've had the same and even worse as Marcus, yes, and it's not been difficult, right? I mean, it has been difficult for Marcus, right? But them years are long gone. Things have changed, Marcus, and you need to, like, put that aside. That's how I see it. That's how you get on in life, right? You battle the things and you fight your way through it, and then you get to a certain stage. And Marcus Rashford, a long time ago, got to a certain stage in his life where he must have felt comfortable and all that, but he's not feeling comfortable, and I don't know why. His eye is off the ball, and he just doesn't seem to get what we're seeing and what we're saying. We're saying, Marcus, you're on the pitch and you're crap. You're crap, sort it out. But he doesn't seem to see that as his first priority. He seems to see his social image side of it. He wants to repair that. Well, you can't repair it, Marcus. You never will until you start performing and doing the job you're paid for.
It's not the first time we've seen him react to social media pages, as well as we've seen his brother. Was it before the Chelsea game away?
Yeah.
Maynard come out, I think. There was things said on the overlap between Gary Neville, Roy Keane and Rio Ferdinand that day, and his brother responded because I think they were questioning his mental state. I think Gary Neville wanted saying that he doesn't look in a good place mentally, etc. And his brother said that day on his Instagram, I completely understand podcasts and how they work, but if you have a genuine concern, pick up the phone. We know each other and cross paths. Airing so-called concerns for the public to having an opinion on is bad mind for clickbait in my eyes. The fun fact is that most of these shows or ex-pros have asked for exclusives.
Well, what's he doing then, going out on social media? Yeah. You know, it doesn't...
But do you think things like that are also run past Rashford before he posts something like that?
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt. Listen, like I've just said before, you know, nothing gets past Marcus Rashford. He's in charge of what's going on. He's changed his team. He's got his family around him. He knows what he's doing. He knows where he's going.
But his team should also be mindful. That was posted just a matter of hours before a huge match against Chelsea away.
It's the Marcus Rashford social media. Look at me, hear me. That's what they do. They'll say things at inappropriate times and not care because they see it as all about them. And he's saying enough is enough. He's saying enough now about abuse or criticism, whichever way you look at it. But at the end of the day, it will never end. So where's his head at? Where's his team's head at? We see what social media does. He is using it for his own purposes to keep Marcus Rashford there. A Marcus Rashford free weekend, he's not having that. That was deliberate out there, and it's targeted, and it's there to get us talking about Marcus Rashford. But the thing is, he's not seeing the point of what life is all about. He's got where he is now as a footballer, worked hard to get there, and he thinks he can do and say what he wants. This football club here is being undermined by stupid things like that. We've already had a young player rebuked for doing social media posts, and he is not listening. He keeps going out there, right, talking about Marcus Rashford. I don't want to hear that. Many fans don't want to hear that. They want to hear Marcus Rashford talking about football on the pitch, the job you do, the job you're highly paid for.
Yeah, I totally agree. There's plenty of us in the chat as well getting involved in this. Keep your comments coming as well, and we'll try and read some out before the end of the video. Do you think Marcus Rashford and his team actually see criticism as abuse? Do you think they can actually tell between the two?
Listen, it's easy for people to go out there and label criticism as abuse. It's a way of hiding behind something. You know, oh, he's abusing me. What you've said is abuse, this, that, and the other. You can't do that and all that. It's to force you back. It's to force the criticism from continuing. That's what they do. They come out with screaming, abuse, abuse, abuse. It's not abuse. It's criticism. That's how I see it. Other people might see it different. And that's the problem. Now, you've got people screaming abuse at everything in life. And it's to force you back. Yeah. And that's what Marcus Rashford is doing with social media. He's trying to force it back and not do the real thing. And that's rectified the problem. There would be no criticism. There would be no abuse if he got down to work on the pitch. But he's ignoring that side of it. And he's not answering the reason why he's not playing well, why he's not putting it in. If he answered that and came out on social media with it, then maybe we'd have a clearer understanding and we'd know what was going on. But what we see as a football fans, we see someone who's lazy. who doesn't want to put the work in, who's got his head somewhere else. And clearly, it's in social media at midnight.
Yeah, still plenty of yous getting involved in this. Keep getting your comments in, and like I say, I'll try and read some out before the end of the video. But yeah, he just looks like a lad who's, when he's on the pitch, like he's upset with everyone but himself.
Well,
do you think he's upset with Erik ten Hag, the management as well? It may be the instructions they're giving him on the pitch, that he doesn't want to listen to them and he wants to play a different game in like he was used to last season.
I think
because last season he was the main man. This season, it looks like Højlund's more of a focal point where it's him getting the service.
Last season, very, very good season. Can't take it away from him. Got all the plaudits. That was great. Okay. He's not been good this year. Okay. That's his fault.
Yeah.
That's his fault and no one else's. When he goes around boozing, not turning up for training, other little misdemeanours, okay? Got dropped for one game, I think it was against Wolves. That's his fault. He doesn't see that it's him. So when somebody's going around and doesn't see the actions, what he's doing, it's his fault, and the people around him aren't pulling him up saying, you can't do that, you can't do that, it's not allowed. And he's ignoring it and everyone else is ignoring it and blaming everyone else and selling us, enough is enough. I'm sorry, I don't know what world Marcus Rashford is in, but if I had 5 minutes with Marcus Rashford in the changing room or somewhere else, I would explain to him the realities of life and what hard work means and what it is to achieve things in life. And when you get there, you're humble. You don't go around like saying, I'm not bothered about what's happening on the pitch, because that's what he's saying. I'm bothered about what's on social media. So give me 5 minutes with Marcus Rashford and I would tell him what real life is, the hardships and everything else like that. I've gone through them. Many of you have gone through them out there, but he seems to be whinging on it, and that's all he seems to be doing in life and not putting the effort where it should be. That's how I see Marcus Rashford, and I've seen him like that for a long time. And if he calls that abuse, then he's not looking at it in the right way. And I'm sure that's the way he's looking at it.
Do you think as well that he should be actually highlighting this abuse in where he thinks it's coming from and like naming whether it's certain media outlets or reporters or even fan channels, let's say, but he should be highlighting that so we can all clearly see in what he actually means?
But we all clearly know why the abuse and the criticism is coming, because he's playing poorly.
But the abuse, though, there's a line. You know, there's criticism and there's, you know, there's fair criticism, and then you cross that line and then it goes on to abuse. We're not fully aware of what Marcus Rashford and his team is actually seeing and witnessing on social media, but I think we're all under an understanding that there's a lot of trolls and cranks, as you might call it, on social media, but he shouldn't actually be looking at that. That shouldn't be affecting him, surely.
I think what it is, when you talk about abuse, he's talking about over the last several months, the abuse has been going on. And it's not right. He's saying, well, I think the abuse is criticism, okay? Because if it was real nasty abuse, he should highlight it, okay? And it should go through the proper channels and be dealt with. Shouldn't be out here in the public forum. He's thrown the word abuse out, and I said earlier on that the word criticism and abuse gets mixed up, right? And the abuse is there to put you back. I don't think it's abuse. I think it's more heavy personal criticism about what he's doing on the pitch. Anyone who turns around and starts having a go, personalising family and things like that, that is bang out of order. Anything like that, it's not acceptable. We know that. But to me, he's talking about, and he's trying to go on about, it's the last few months. Well, it's all down to your football, Marcus. Why can't you see that? Why don't you just shut up, get off social media and get on with the football and be a better footballer? You're highly paid. But he doesn't want to see it. To me, he doesn't want to seem to do the work now. He's got the fame, he's got the money, he's got the shirt, he thinks he can go around, he's got the social media, right? And he doesn't have to do it anymore. You've actually not won anything, Marcus.
Do you think he's also looking at his place at the Euros, and that's under threat as well? And he's trying to maybe, you know, stir up something like maybe some sort of sympathy out there in the way he's performed this season?
I think, listen, when you look at Marcus on using the social media, always looks at, as I see it, this is my personal views, as though he's the victim, poor Marcus and all that, right? And he might be using the social media side of it to get his name out there because his name wasn't going to be used this weekend, okay? And that's what social media's for, to get your name out there. And he's using it that way instead of doing it the right way by doing it on the pitch. Is it the Euros? I don't think it's the Euros. I just think he's using it to have a go back and how he sees the world and sees what's going out there. But it's very strange for a man who's not performing well on the pitch to spend his time looking at people's nice comments on social media and running around and spending his time looking at the bad side of social media. Marcus Rashford, is he typing the name in and looking for the positives and the negatives? That, to me, if that's the case, because how's he found this tweet? I don't think this is a big account, this actual person or persons who have done this, right? So how's he found it? To me, it's all strange in its total. So
you think, there's maybe a possibility that could be just a burner account for his actual PR team to post something and then him comment on it?
Listen,
look, there's no proof on that. I'm just giving another angle of what it could possibly be.
Listen, a lot of social media, that's how things work. Do you know what I mean? People having different accounts, people knowing other people setting each other up and saying, right, I'm going to post this, get ready. That can happen.
Of course it can.
And at the end of the day, Marcus Rashford shouldn't be playing them games if that is the case.
The games that he should be playing are for Manchester United and just looking like he gives a damn on the actual football pitch. Playing as a team player, not as an individual, sulking.
He sulks. He doesn't play as a team. It's pathetic, really. And I've said it. That's criticism. That's all that is. I've criticised him, and I've criticised him for a long time, because I've not trusted him. And at the end of the day, it's about what you do on the pitch. And Marcus Rashford, what you've done on the pitch this year, right, from the standards the year before, is crap. The levels are way down. I don't know why. I'll tell you what, I don't know why. Why haven't the media turned round to Erik ten Hag, especially today, and said, why are you picking someone who the fans believe is playing crap week in, week out and not putting the effort in? That's a question what should be asked to Erik ten Hag. But the media side of it aren't saying it.
I'm going to go on to Ten Hag because he was actually asked about Rashford as well and alluding to that tweet. And Ten Hag said, I've a lot of sympathy for Rasha, of course. Last year, he had a brilliant season. He scored 30 goals. This season, he didn't give the performances, and people have been very critical. We have to back him, and everyone should back him and get him back to the levels of last year.
Yeah, but there's only so much you can do to back a player. Listen, Sancho there, we know what happened with Sancho, right? But people were backing Sancho, right? Out he goes. But Erik ten Hag was backing him. The fans were backing him. Some were a little bit like, whoa, what's going on here? But, hey, we can see that he's out there. And is there a problem? We backed him. And then there came a point that it wasn't going to work. It was obvious with Sancho. What happened, he sent him out because he wasn't doing it. Marcus Rashford isn't doing it.
I've seen that.
We back everybody who wears a red shirt.
You should have seen us on Derby Day. That goal he scored against Manchester City, jumping up and down in the air, screaming our heads off, rolling about.
That's right.
And we do that for every single player. But again, it just goes then back to type, doesn't it, in the way he's then walking about the football pitch and what we would give all of us out there just to put on that shirt just for the game.
No, that's right.
I mean, you'd just run yourself into the ground, wouldn't you?
And that's the problem when he starts giving it enough is enough. No, the criticism, you will get criticism. Everyone will get criticism. Listen, every player gets it in the ear, whether they're on the pitch, they're getting it off the players. They can hear it from the fans in the stands. They'll get it from outside. They might get a little bit in the ear when they're walking down the street or something like that. Every player has had to put up with it. But Marcus Rashford is too much whinging about it. Just get off it. Ignore it. Simple. If you was going to work and there was something bothering you, right, and it was affecting your work and it was affecting like what you do at night and everything else like that, you change it. You just change it. So why isn't he changing his lifestyle, right, to suit his work? Because the work should be number one priority, and he's not in my opinion.
Yeah, Akash Paul cheers for his super chat. He says more evidence game has lots working class roots. That's how it's actually tight, but I don't know actually what you mean there, mate. More evidence game has lots working class roots. If you can just get it typed out again, mate, in the chat, I'll have a look for it and I'll read it out again, but appreciate it.
Well, it's working class roots, so he should know better. He should. Listen.
Well, he's from the same place we are, only up the road.
Well, that's right. It's only down the road from where we are, right? Lots of people who know his family know our family, right? Now, at the end of the day, right, it's working class. He's above working class now. He's out of that predicament. He's worked well to do what he's achieved in football, to take his family out of that. And fair play to you. No one's knocking you for that. It's fantastic. But at the end of the day, you know what your roots are and you know what it is to work hard. You worked hard when you was a young lad, getting to train, getting to play football. It was hard. It was hard for everyone around. But we've all experienced that and we've all moved on. We've all moved on and we use our, whatever it is in life, our skills and our knowledge in life, like to help someone else up the ladder. That's what we do. You just seem to hark on about the poor things in life coming through and like abuse going on about your family and everything else like that. It's you what keeps bringing up the hardship, your family and everything. But you can't see that and you're turning the blame on people like me, Kieron, fans out there, and other people, and it's not us pushing the agenda. You've pushed the agenda on it all, and you keep bringing it back when we're sick of it.
The thing is, I've always been brought up like from your generation, you know, all your friends, everyone that I've known over the years going to watch Manchester United, that you always back your players no matter what, because the club, the players get enough stick from ABUs every single day, every single week.
That's correct.
But I always noticed after that Newcastle away performance from him, a lot of fans just started, you know, turning a lot against Marcus Rashford in the performance that he put in that day.
Well,
and if you look at it from that performance, his social media activity, coming out with things like this, you know, his trips out to Belfast, etc., it seems to just to be like going downhill.
Well, there's a point when you look at somebody and you say, "Whoa, that's enough. That's enough."
Yeah.
And I think everybody seen that point at Newcastle away. And it's just spiralled out of control from him. Now, it might have been spiralling out of control before that, right? And then we've seen the performance at Newcastle away. And he's not recovered from it, right? And he's not, well, I say recovered, it's got worse. So it was building up to that Newcastle game. His life is spiralling out of control. In what way? I don't know. Is it the control that is just obsessed with social media? I don't know.
Yeah, Akash Paul, you've rephrased it. Cheers, mate. He said, more evidence the game has lost its working class roots.
There is no working class roots anymore at football.
Yeah.
We're customers. That's what we are.
Yeah.
We're not supporters. We've been told now for years that's what it is. The shout of the prawn sandwich brigade. Everyone now, well, everyone used to laugh when Roy Keane come out with that about the prawn sandwich brigade. Everyone wants what Man United have. I've always said that. That's what they want. They want the prawn sandwich brigade. They used to take the mick right out of us and just abuse us because of what Roy Keane said. But what Roy Keane said, right, was the vision of the future. And the future is customers. Customers with money. UEFA, FIFA. You go right through football. It's all about money. That's what it is. The working class have just been kicked right out of football. And if you think it's going to get any better under Jim Ratcliffe, then you're certainly mistaken.
Yeah, totally agree with that last part. He did continue to say on Marcus Rashford, Ten Hag, he said, I think he needs the support. We all know what he's capable of. We all have to support him and push him. He can do better this year. We saw it last year when he was brilliant. But he's saying about support there.
Yeah, he's had the support, okay? While you're getting the support, right, the people who are giving you that support want to see something from you. They want to see you man up. They want you to see put the effort in, get the sweat on you and perform, right? But if you're supporting someone and they're not giving anything back, then in the end, you just raise your hands and go, well, enough's enough with you, pal, because you ain't giving it back what you're receiving. You're getting our support, okay, but you're giving nothing back. He can't see that, Marcus Rashford.
Yeah, Gerald Ryan, appreciate your super chat, my mate.
Thank you.
Thanks to everyone else as well for keep getting involved with your opinions. He did have a comment as well about the Manchester United fans, Ten Hag, and he said, I think the fans are behind us always. We are entering Old Trafford. I hear the reception. Wednesday was louder than I've heard on other occasions. Also, they're always supportive, backing the team, and there is a very good connection between the team and the fans.
I think Erik ten Hag and people inside that club are absolutely amazed at how patient and how quiet we've been with the criticism or any abuse, especially from the stands when people are watching the game live, right? Because even I'm shocked at sometimes. Yes, we've seen in the summer Harry Maguire getting derided over in Ireland.
Sorry to interrupt you. Shouldn't... I remember watching a Real Madrid game earlier on this season, okay? You talk about standards, Real Madrid, and they were getting beat 1-0, I think it was Real Sociedad, at the Bernabeu.
Yeah.
And the fans were going absolutely ballistic. They had the white handkerchiefs out. You're seeing them up off the seats, slaughtering the players, pointing in the players' faces. But that motivated their players. They went and won the game, I think it was 2-1. But you see it on many occasions with teams like Real Madrid, where the fans are just, they'll go for it.
Yeah,
a loss is a complete world ender for them.
That they have a different tradition. The white handkerchief comes out at different parts of the season, and on what's going on. The handkerchief.
But it doesn't affect their players, though. It sort of raises their players 9 times out of 10 to then go and perform and push on.
Sometimes
but you get the feeling if you do that in Old Trafford, it's like some of these players, I think, would crumble under it. Do you think? Or
I think what happens here at Manchester United, that the players get behind them and all that, and when they see things going wrong, what they aren't critical to the players in full voice. What
it's
they
a
do
tradition.
Is they tend just to stand there and then wait for the players to react to the silence. They can feel the mood that it's not going right on the terraces, and it's down to the players, and that's what it is. It's down to the players. It's an entertainment business now, and we need to see entertainment on the pitch. That's what it's about. Entertainment, customers. Unfortunately, the working class man, he's getting booted out slowly but surely.
Yeah, some team news as well. Mason Mount looks like he'll be returning to the squad for the Burnley match. Erik ten Hag has confirmed, and he's already spoke on Shaw, Martinez and Martial, and he does expect all 3 of them to be back with us before the end of the season.
But you definitely won't see Martial. You just definitely won't see Martial. I remember a comment he come out with when he was asked about Martial's fitness recently. Must have been about 3 weeks ago. He said, Martial, his fitness, will he be ready to come back? And his comment was, well, that's down to Anthony.
Yeah.
In other words, don't ask me stupid questions about Anthony Martial. We all know what's going on with him, right? He doesn't want to play. He doesn't want to train. He doesn't want to run on the pitch. He don't want to give it anything. So don't waste my time with it. I think he's just being polite there when he mentions Martial.
Yeah, any thoughts going into this game against Burnley on Saturday?
Well, it's just about attitude, isn't it? I mean, you've got to approach this game, right, with what's going to happen. Well, I don't know what's going to happen, to be honest with you, right? So it's about attitude. Everything about the game is attitude. Season's fading away, possible 6th place there, maybe get lower, but 6th, 7th, does it really matter? Not to me, it doesn't really matter. So it's about attitude, putting something on for the fans and everything, and hoping that the fans can go away with a victory. That's what you want, and it's game by game. So at the end of the day, Ten Hag's got a tough task to try and keep these players motivated, and it's all down to attitude. And to be honest with you, if any of these players are picked before any players on the bench and they're out in the summer, I'll have a few things to say about it, because anyone who is pinpointed for leaving in the summer should not be on that pitch, because that attitude will not be right. And we've seen the attitude at times throughout the season. It's all been poor.
Yeah, just going to go into some news that come out yesterday. We had a chat about it before the Sheffield United game on Wednesday, and it's about Dan Ashworth. And David Ornstein said that Dan Ashworth is taking Newcastle United to arbitration in a bid to resolve Manchester United move. There's no agreement between Man United and Newcastle to break the impasse, and it's set to be decided by a third party. It's expected to start as well in May.
Well, it's all expected. Not good enough as far as I'm concerned. We want him in. Obviously, Sir Jim Ratcliffe wants him. Look, sounds a decent bloke. Sounds as though he knows what he's doing. But at the end of the day, this art of negotiation has completely failed. For it to come to this is poor. I don't think Ratcliffe thought it'd get to this. I don't think Ashworth did. But when I first heard about how it was being dealt with, I just put my feet on the ground and said, they will not be happy. They don't care about the money. And they don't care about the money. They're letting it ride and ride and ride. They're just showing Man United 2 fingers up in the air, up yours. Yeah. And, you know, I'm not shocked that it's got like this. And I'm surprised that Manchester United are shocked that it's having to go this far.
Oh, there's a bit of good news as well, that Omar Barada is expected to start officially at Manchester United in mid-July. So,
listen,
on that, yeah.
Listen.
Do you think he's already working behind the scenes? A few WhatsApps, a few FaceTimes and all that? A few notes passed under a desk?
Listen, the day after the cup final, he'll be in some small red hut at the back here on his own, right? Working away, trust me, out of the limelight, out of prying eyes, he'll be working. Yeah. So that July date means nothing.
Okay, anything more to add though before we go?
No.
Anything to discuss on Marcus Rashford?
Well, this weekend's football, Burnley, it's very difficult to actually talk about it because it's virtually the same squad as it was Wednesday night. No one can predict what's going to happen because we've seen all season. Sometimes you just never know what's going to happen from game to game. And at the end of the day, the 3 points go a long way to get in 6th place. So that's the focus. Let's get the 3 points. But a score prediction and that, I can't give you the score prediction because I just haven't got a clue. And I couldn't really tell you how the game's going to go. Wednesday night proved that again. So let's just hope we get 3 points. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Just to add on one thing, though, a question I don't think we've come across today, and there was a few people in the chat today actually saying it, but do you think Marcus Rashford, will still be here at the beginning of next season?
Would Marcus Rashford still be here at the beginning of the season? Right.
Huge contract. Is there any teams out there who would actually be willing to take them wages on?
Right, that's the first problem.
Yeah.
Okay, getting rid of players nowadays, we've seen how difficult it is, right? The wages they're on and everything. And how much would Man United want for a player they've homegrown, brought him through, okay? So there's a stumbling block, okay? Does Marcus Rashford deserve another year, another go at it? Of course he does, okay? Of course he does. At the end of the day, every player deserves a chance. Poor season, terrible for him. But should he be kicked out? Not really, no. Should he go? Some fans think so. I do. I think he should go. I think as a lad at that age, I think he should go. He's been here since 2016. So I look at it from that point of view. He's had 8 good years since he made his debut in 2016. So from that point of view, it's time to move on. Listen, the grass is not always greener when you move, but at the end of the day, he's got to give it a go. And I don't see his focus here. So should he get sold? Yeah, possibility. But I think Marcus Rashford himself should be saying, I need to move on. I need new challenges. So for that reason, he should go. I'm all for giving people chances. Always have done all my life. So if he wants to stay and he can turn it around and people in the club think he can turn it around, then fair enough. I'll accept that. If I see it on the pitch, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, totally.
I'm fine with it. But at the end of the day, I think Marcus Rashford himself, in life and what's going on in and around and how he sees himself and how he sees society and he sees football and everything else like that, I think he himself needs somewhere to go. So from that point of view, yes. From a forgiving point of view, as a football fan, stay. Give him another chance. But he has to be given that chance knowing, right, that he's going to put the work in and he's going to do it. People have to see that he's committed, and I don't think he's committed. So, yes, no, you know, it's just the way it is. If he goes, he goes. If he stays, then he better sort himself out.
Yeah. Just like to thank everyone for joining us today, getting involved in the chat. It's been absolutely popping off in there, to be quite honest with you. Some great opinions as well. We're on that march to 70,000 subscribers as well before the end of the season. So if you're not subscribed, think about subscribing, help support the channel and spread the word amongst your family, friends, everyone else out there you speak to. Much appreciated, everyone. And we'll be back straight after the Burnley game with the 3 points.
With the 3 points.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Enjoy your day, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.